It's going to give me great pleasure to introduce Osia Mala Mala Nitabua, which I practiced last night. Didn't I get it right, Mala?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. And Mark Stevens. We're in the company of the police. You've been behaving very well, so you shouldn't be in trouble, but you've got some young people coming up afterwards as well, so you might have trouble yet. Over to you, Mala. Tell us about your neighbourhood group. They've got 55 neighbourhood coordination groups in Gloucestershire, and Mala has been involved in one of them, and Mark has been facilitating some of that work.
I live in St. Paul's, which is must be the oldest part of.
It's the second oldest
part of Cheltenham. But our community has two groups. I am the new one, as you can see, because I'm new in that area. So we started a community called St. Paul, Heart of St. Paul's. And St. Paul's, if you know, St. Paul has a very bad reputation. In all of Cheltenham, he knows. But when people ask me, where do I live? I tell them, I live in the best part of Cheltenham. Why? Because I can walk the supermarket around, lovely lake. But the people who live within St. Paul don't realize this.
And tell us about the training program that you've been doing that's helping you to be a really effective community champion.
Well, I was going to go only as a volunteer because I am a foreigner. Oh, mind my language. But I was roped in, and then I took up the opportunity because I was of retiring age. So I attended one of the training to be how to organize a meeting. But I found out that at the end, the most important thing that I learned was about communication. Because it's the language that we use. But on top is communication. Underneath is discipline. If you become a chairman, you must discipline yourself. And also be able to teach others not to speak too long on a point. And then what did I find out? I found out that on communication, I have to structure a meeting. I have to engage with those people in the meeting. I have to involve my communities, not in the meeting, but outside of it. I have to gather information, analyze the information, disseminate the information, and act upon the information, because my community and I are two-way engagement every time.
What sort of effect is it having in the community now already? You're obviously energetic and you're probably an optimistic leader.
Don't be downhearted. It's a long way to Tipperary. But because I live within the community, and I happen to be a teacher, and I taught almost all the children in the community, I'm getting there. I'm building relationship. I'm interacting with the people that I live in. But before I go back to Fiji in 5 years' time, I want to build a rapport with my own community. That's my aim.
How much time is it taking you, Mala?
Well, if I have a meeting, if it is a monthly meeting, it might be 2 hours. If it is a quarterly meeting, it might be 2 hours. Not too long. Because if it's too long, then you're defeating the purpose of you trying to have a meeting. But as a volunteer, the time is so much, because you are walking around in a community. You talk and walk. Your house is an open door, or your hut is an open door. Because every time when you walk, they try and ask you, what have you done? What's this problem? Have you got the answers from the police? And from the other agencies?
Yeah.
So the time.
So the housing officer goes home, the youth worker goes home, the police officer goes home, but you're there all the time.
But I'm there all the time. Because you are a volunteer, you have an open heart to help. Because you are trying to teach them that if you are a volunteer, you have something special, but you are trying to tell them that if I have something special to work within the community, I'm sure you can devote.
So what are you spending, 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week?
More or less. But as I said, from Monday to Sunday.
Where do you find the time? How can you
Because I'm now retired.
Yeah.
So that's why I have decided to take up this opportunity and become a chairman of.
And how did like the question I asked the others? Where did this course come from? It didn't fall out of the sky, did it?
No, I think it came from the Gloucestershire County Council.
Yeah.
So it was funded by.
What part do you play, Mark?
Well, my name's Mark Stevens. I'm the Sergeant in charge of the Wadden Safe Community Team. We've got 3 communities in my area that I'm responsible for, and one of them is St Paul's. The role that I have is really one of trying to get the community together, galvanise the community, get the service agencies or service providing agencies speaking with one voice, shortening the lines of communication between the resident and the service providing agency, allowing the resident to have a say in what services are being delivered. You know, I've been a copper for the best part of 27 years, and one of the things I've learned in the police is that we're very good at telling people what's good for them. We're not actually very good at listening to what they want from us. And for me, this whole process is about shortening those lines of communication. It's about putting the resident at the heart of the service delivery.
So you've got neighbourhood policing teams,
Yeah.
which you're presumably one of.
Yeah.
So people here who aren't using their neighbourhood policing teams, bearing in mind the local authority is not going to provide any community workers anymore, should come to you, shouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every force is signed up to the neighbourhood policing agenda. You know, wherever you have come from today, you will have a neighbourhood policing team, a safer community team, whatever name your host force gives it. Go out there and touch base with them, because you know that is the way that you will have a say in not only the policing of your neighbourhood, but the management of your neighbourhood.
So, I mean, you've become networkers, participation developers, haven't you?
Yeah, I think, well, we're facilitators, I think.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we ideally, where I want to get to is a situation where, you know, somebody can go to one place in the community for matters that relate to crime and disorder, that relate to housing, the quality of life issues that affect all of us. And if we can tap into that, and if we can start delivering on those, we can build a confidence in the community. And a confident community is a strong community, and in my particular line of work, a confident community will drive out crime and disorder, because criminals won't have a place in a confident community.
How can the people here get a partnership like you and Mala, everywhere where they're working?
Well, I think it's important, you know, if you're minded to play a part in this process, stand up and be counted. You know, put your head above the parapet and say, I want to be involved in this. I want to be part of the process of making my community a better place. You know, stick your stake in the ground and say, you know, this is my ground, this is my area, and I'm going to make the best of it I can.
Mala, last word for
you. As a teacher, I'd like to illustrate this, okay? It's like a big wheel, this big government or empowerment, right? The community is like a spoke, and all the agencies are the, you are in the middle, but the agencies are the spoke, and the government is outside. So, I'm trying to educate my communities that there's so much help available, but every time we point a finger at the police or the government, but how many fingers are pointing back towards us? It's a blame game, and this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to educate the community. There's so much opportunity. I was struck by the ladies, because where they come from, and where I come from, their opportunities are less. But here, there are millions and millions of opportunities. But we are not educating the community to take hold of the responsibilities and drive forward. And that's the only way they can improve and drive.
And we've got to give them the power to do it. And we don't want to waste any more time on consultation, do we? We want to give them the power.
Just give them the power.
We don't want any local government organisation saying we're consulting the community.
But they haven't found a role just to stand from the background.
Yeah. But I think it's important, Leslie, to recognise the community has got to want to do this themselves. Yeah. You know, it's all very well complaining and moaning, as Mal says. You know, you point the finger, 4 more are pointing back at you. The community has got to want to be part of this process. And I tell you, it's the most exciting thing. When it goes well, it really goes well.
And they will if they get rewards, won't
Absolutely.
Yes.
they? Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you both very much.